Hey, Friday. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. So what will happen is I will stop the music, and then I will be doing an introduction, and then I will add you onto the screen basically, and then yeah, basically the guide questions will be who you are, a little background. Being Pinoy. I mean, were you born? I'll ask if were you born and raised there, or you moved, etc. And then we'll talk something about Tiki because Tiki is well part of Philippine culture, but there's still much need for awareness, especially to the students. And then Vegas and Liars, basically. All right, okay. 1 minute, and I will switch to my camera. Thanks very much. See you. So you'll lead and I'll follow. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye. Okay. Excellent. All right. Okay, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, mga katoma. As I always say, so happy New Year to everybody. This is Richie, your host. Welcome to Toma Sessions Live. So of course, happy New Year, belated Merry Christmas. It's 2021. Let's start the new year right. And well, this is a time to start the year right because we have a special guest uh, here in our session. And of course, a kababayan at that. Okay? So maybe shout out to the people there already in the chat room. I see them right now. MIPH and Trikshan. Okay, who else is here? Yeah, MIPH Gaming and Trikshan 814 from Dumaguete and Marikina. Mega shout out to you guys. All right. So if you have any questions, by the way, you can see them in our comment box. All right. So we shall read it. Now, it's always an honor to have a guest that is our very own kababayan. No? And well, we are honored to have with us one, no, who actually, well, later on you'll get to find out more about him. But just to give you a brief introduction, so we can start the ball rolling. He is actually a native of Ilocos Vegan. Okay, I got that correct. And now he is actually based in Las Vegas, wherein he is a brand ambassador. He'll talk about a brand, a non-alcoholic spirit, which is actually a new a new category, relatively up and coming, especially here in the Philippines, because there's only one. Well, I don't know if I can mention that later, but there is one brand that I've come to know. Okay, but it's fun. It's exciting to know that there is another up and coming brand. Hopefully it reaches the Philippine soil. And another thing about our guest is, well, he is a well-renowned bartender, consultant, mixologist. Now he has carried a lot of brands. He's worked in different bars. Again, I will leave that to him to tell us, his story. Because the thing with Thomas Sessions is, well, again, for those who don't know, we have three core values: be inspired, be informed, and be involved. And it's always inspiring to see a bartender actually make it from other countries. And it's fun also, and an honor to talk with them, so that we can get some inspiration along the way. Okay, so without further ado, let me introduce to you Tim Rita Jr. Good
Hello,
morning.
everybody.
Hi,
Good
hi.
morning. It's
How's my audio?
afternoon here.
How's my audio?
It's good.
Okay, your
You
audio
can
is
hear
good
me
also.
okay?
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Awesome.
so good evening over there, good morning over here. So welcome to YouTube and to StreamYard. So later
Very
on,
nice.
we will broadcast this or feature this in Facebook and our Instagram also, so you guys can
Oh,
catch it there. Okay, so let's start, Tim. Can you tell us something about your early beginnings?
like you mentioned, so my family is from Ilocos Norte, vegan. I was born and raised in Hawaii, but very much what's great about Hawaii is there's so many different cultures, Asian-driven cultures, where anyone can feel at home. Like you could come over to Hawaii and it would be seamless. So um, it's just another version of home, I would say. But yeah, I'm Tim Rita. Pleasure, honored to be on Toma Sessions. Where do we start? So long time ago, I um I began my oh Lord. About 15 years ago, I started. I made the decision to take on a trade that my father actually, Tim Senior, used to do. and it was like perfect timing. You know, one trade was ending, where one was new and prosperous, and it was scary. But me, the way I am, I just go head first and find out what happened. So I did. Um, Lucky enough to have my first bar backing job was at the beautiful Holly Kulani in Waikiki. All I knew was the place was great. I wanted to learn, so I'm the type of person I want to learn from the ground up. I started off as a bar back and made my way to being like the lead bartender at Lures Lounge. Lures Lounge, what's really cool and the great part about it is, at the time I started my journey, uh, the Holly Kalani was known for bringing on the best in the industry to um, basically head up their programs. And at the time, I think it was just like 2000, 2005. Um, Dale DeGroff was doing the program there. No one knew who he was in Hawaii. Hawaii, we're on our own island at the time. We still are at times, which isn't a bad thing.
Hmm.
But all I knew was, I wanted the gig. I wanted to learn. Everyone else, they were like, "Oh, no fresh juices, no squeezing this and that." And for me, I'm like, I'm always a yes guy. And I learned my basics, my foundation from his bar fresh methods, which I still carry to today. And yeah, blessed with that, alongside great chefs and wine people. So it was just a place where I absorbed as much as I could, because I recognized how lucky I was, and eventually found my own style. Um, what I learned from our executive chef, shout out to Vikram Garg, amazing, amazing chef, taught me all about flavors. Um, but what he did was all I knew was classics. Which all I knew was classics. I learned backwards. I learned the classics first, and then I moved into other club, fast-paced things. We'll move on to that later. Sorry, just disclaimer. I tend to jump from one story to the next, so please,
No worries, no worries. You're
please,
an
please try
artist.
to
That's
follow.
why. That's how artists are.
That's a good one. I'm going to use that next time people can't understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So,
yes.
where was I? See, I forgot. Um, yeah, so he was like, what he did, what I noticed with his food is he always showed like a bit of flavor and flair and personality from his upbringing, from where he was from. So he used to call his dishes in Hawaii, Hawaii centric. So I kind of adopted that saying, where Hawaii is one of those beautiful places where you're in the middle of the Pacific. You got all the best produce. You got the freshest, fruits from the sea, and it's all about incorporating all of that together with the classic foundation. That was that was a route I followed, or a plan that I've kind of always tried to do. Even come in and fast forward real quick to Las Vegas. We we did cocktails that focused on Las Vegas, like prickly pear, the desert. So you kind of switch gears and evolve to where you're from. But I'll always be Hawaii centric. Using my Filipino flavors that my mother and grandmother used to cook with. Hawaiian flavors, Chinese flavors. So everything that was fresh and at my reach, I would use that with my cocktails, and I dabbled in a few cocktail competitions here and there, but that was always my thing. I always would use some kind of fresh ingredient from Hawaii or flavor from Hawaii, and that you know that till this
Okay,
day.
so take it. Let's take it from your introduction. Well, I have a question there. So, Tim Senior. Uh,
Hmm.
so basically, your mom and your dad was born and raised in Ilocos also, or were they there
No,
already in Hawaii?
j- just my grandfather, my grandparents, but my parents were born and raised in Hawaii. So
Ah,
there's generations, but still my grandfather stick close to his roots, and try to instill as much as he can to
okay.
us. I
All
haven't
right.
been back, but one day, pretty
Yeah.
soon, one day,
So
you
when
and I will
when
be
did
having
you,
some cocktails.
given that, I was wondering because there's a thing about Tiki. Okay, when do you know what year your grandfather migrated to Hawaii?
So he was in the army. So
Okay.
during that time, if that, I know it's kind of broad, but he was in the military, and then he came over, met my grandmother, and
Okay.
that
So
was
I
the
figured because
story
normally
of
that's,
him.
yeah, normally that's the way that the trend is like during the time of the war or in the
Hmm.
army, because Filipinos and Americans have deep ties together.
Hmm.
And then from there, the future or the present to future generations, they're established in either Hawaii, Guam, or US, and that's why. Because I don't know if you know Ricky Agustin. I was also featured. Well, he was also featured here. He is also from Ilocos, apparently. But he is now based in New York.
Oh,
So
cool.
you're the sec. Well, you're another Ilocano. So again, most of the North, I noticed most of the people because I also have relatives apparently from Vegas. They're in Vegas now, but they started off in San Francisco. I don't know. Well, I'm
Mhm.
Cruz, so they retire. Actually, the retirement place is in Vegas. No, of all places, it's a
Of
great
course.
place to retire. Yeah. So okay. So um, in Hawaii, uh, how many? Because I haven't been there. I've only been to Guam like last year. How big is the population in terms of the bartending scene?
The bartending scene. See, the bartending scene was it's been around for a while. I would say, there's places like La Mariana Sailing Club, and going back to like the Hilton Hawaiian Village, where the Blue Hawaii was invented. It was very so. Hawaii is very much the same as what people come to visit Hawaii for. Very relaxed, very you know, no worries, literally. But there's always been great talented bartenders, but not until maybe like let's say like the early 2000s is when like USBG finally reemerged, reformed in Hawaii, where I was the first president, and it kind of it was cool because I was going in with the new one of my mentors from the USBG. He wanted to build a chapter, so I was like, yes, let's do it. It was really cool. It was cool and tough because a lot of the guys there, they're already established. They're really great. For them, it was like, why do I need to join this? I'm doing fine. They live great lives, but I partnered with brands and distribution and other bartenders just to show, you know, it was like I took the approach of the competition and that kind of route. So we did little competitions here and there. Of course, there's always Bombay Sapphire, but then a lot of people turned out for it. A lot of people loved it, and it was a way to find people that are already great and just kind of give them like a spotlight. And I love to think because of the USBG, a lot of great bartenders from Hawaii got to shine because of it, and still are till this day. I mean, you look at dear friend Justin Park. They have Bar Leather Apron, who had they're James Beard award winner. So that comes a long way. For me, I feel proud as being from Hawaii and just knowing those people that they're able to be as great as they are right now. Like I'm just like, hi, I shook hands along the way, and
All
the
right, all
greatness
right.
was already the greatness was already there.
Yeah. Okay, so actually, I was browsing through the USBG link that you sent me, and it's pretty interesting. I
Hmm.
want to get deeper into it because once upon a time, I don't know. Well, this would be an offshoot to my next question to you because I was in Vegas for 12 hours, believe it or not. I think I mentioned this to you
You
because
did.
yeah, the travel time from the bus, although it's a great trip, looking at the desert and whatnot from that Monterey city, well, Monterey to Vegas. And then at the time, well, it was almost nighttime in Vegas, but then again, I wasn't really up for going up and about, outside the strip because I've seen some movies and stuff. So I figured just to spend the day in Harrah's. I was able to book in Harrah's at the time.
Nice.
And the following day, I actually met up with three guys. I'm sure you know them. Danilo Oribe, Vladimir Buryanov, and Dario Doimo. So these are the
Oh, very
flair
nice.
tenders, the legends of flair in Vegas. So they mentioned to me about USBG, where it's really a big deal. Well, and in fact, this USBG, I'm pretty impressed because they really look out for members, and it's really strong. In fact, they also um, what do you call this? They really protect the members in terms of salaries, benefits, and whatnot. And you probably heard of Tobin Ellis.
Yes.
So he has. I featured him also here. Shout out to you, Tobin, if you're gonna be watching Toma session. So he put up a great advocacy on the early part of the pandemic last year, right? So the
Yeah.
hospitality site, or I forgot the name, but
It was like a
yeah. So
dashboard. Hmm.
yeah, hospitality dashboard. That's it in barmagic.com. So that's why I'm really, of course. My question to you now is, being in Vegas, uh, does that mean a part of you once upon a time flared before?
Um,
Because
n- no, it's funny because Dario is a dear friend. Tobin Ellis is a dear friend. That's the closest I come to Flair. Funny story. I actually tried Flair with another common friend, Christian Self. I don't know if you know him, but he's over in Hawaii as well. He tried to teach me one day, and it was, oh man, it was no broken bones, so I'm fine. But with, on the serious side with Flair, I love it. Something I can't do myself. I mean, I can get a little fancy, but nothing like what you guys do. But I appreciate and love the showmanship and the functionality of it. Um, I wish that's the one thing in bartending that I wish I could get semi, not even good at. Just be okay to be like, hey, I can Flair. But yeah, but I can't. So nope, no Flair for Tim.
okay, well, you know what? That's I feel you. Of course, I would say I because I was born in the Tom Cruise era when I started bartending. So that movie is really a life changer, so to speak. No. Uh,
That movie, like people give me whatever about it, but I that movie was one of the things that made me want to bartend as well, and I'll stand to it. Tom Cruise is one of my favorite actors. I'll stand to that too. But
There you go. So, but as we grow, I mean, I feel until now I know because I'm aware of my skill set. Even if I practice 50 times, there's still your limit basically. So of course a bartender basically makes awesome drinks supposedly. So I focused on cocktails. I focused on service. I focused on flavor. So like just like you being a kababayan. So now it's actually when you mentioned a while ago that you started backwards to classic from contemporary. Well, it's like I think here now there's still there's really a need to know the classics by heart because that's where the the contemporary cocktails would come to play and in fact sometimes the how do you call it, the flip side of how do you call it, appetizing cocktails just like what you see in social media, just like what for example aviary came up with
Hmm.
uh, or maybe the videos of cocktails for you, shout out to the guys there. I mean, if I am a new bartender and I see these things, I'll jump the gun because it looks cool. It, you know, it looks fancy. It looks pogi, if you know the word that in Tagalog, right? But
That's natural. Yeah.
yeah, so but if you move two steps back, you know, and you don't know classics, so I think it's just very important to me what you said about classics. So okay,
Hmm.
my next question is, what made you move to from Hawaii to Vegas?
Hold that note. I'm gonna turn my light on real quick.
No worries, no worries. Okay, guys. So again, welcome to Toma Sessions Live. So this is Richie Cruz, your host. Happy New Year to everyone. If you have questions, feel free to shoot it. And mega shout out to everybody who's watching it. Don't forget to like the page, to like this session. And tonight I'll be playing it, or we'll be playing it in Facebook and Instagram. So yeah, going back. So what you move from your comfort zone to Vegas?
So a lot of things. Vegas was my destination of choice for vacation.
Hi. That's that's okay. You can actually, well no actually you can okay. So while Tim is taking care of the baby, so again our guest is Team Rita Jr., a kababayan who is now a brand ambassador of Lyres, which is non-alcoholic spirit. So later on we'll know more about that. And yeah, feel free to shoot out questions and and
Sorry
yeah,
about that. All right, what was
okay.
I? Yeah, that was my daughter.
It wasn't. It was, well. It was your destination. Yeah.
It was my
Vegas for
vacation
vacation.
destination for Hawaiians. Hawaiians love Hawaii. Love Las Vegas. There's a they call it the ninth island, but people still call it that now, which is funny. But I mentioning Tobin Ellis. Um, in addition to competitions I competed in Las Vegas, like Shake It Up, Tobin would have his amazing social mixology, and I was lucky enough to be one of the bartenders to kind of like guest bartend, which is always cool. So once I did my first one, I'm like, I want to do everyone. I'm like, Tobin, bring me up. But so I had the relationship already with Las Vegas and the cool people here. I came to the point where I I've already left the Halikulani. I moved over to two other places, and then there's only so much you can do on an island. And I felt at the time of my career, I needed more of a challenge, and I always looked at Vegas as that's that's uh that's the deep waters for me. If I can survive there, I can survive anywhere. And I went. I reached out, and I was able to get a an on call gig at the beautiful Cosmopolitan, and I was there for all the way up until like 2017. Learned every outlet. Truly learned what volume craft cocktails in volume was. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I mean, I worked in nightclubs back in Hawaii where it was just simple drinks. But yeah, I worked at the Vesper bar. Shout out to the Vesper boys over at the Cosmo. Love you guys.
Vesper, yes.
They were cranking out craft cocktails. I mean, just cranking it out. And for me, I'm the type of guy, when I move into a new bar, um, best place to learn and, word of advice is if you really want to learn a specialty menu, put yourself in the service well. I did. And I sank to the point where I forgot cocktails that I already knew how to make, and I was making them wrong just because I was so shell shocked. And I remember till this day, Roger Gross and Jason McIntyre looking at me like, "Did you just what did I shake? Did you just shake a Sazerac?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, I think I did."
Yes.
It was that bad. I mean, if everybody, I can honestly say, I sank in that well, boy. But I worked my way up to being okay. But but no, it was a great experience. I feel like that definitely sharpened my tools, opened my eyes up to what more than what at the time Hawaii had to offer for me. Hawaii is great as it is. Each place is as great as it is. But as far as like high volume craft cocktails, Las Vegas. And you go to great places like Herbs and Rye, all of Sam Ross's places at the Venetian Palazzo, tons of other places. I can't even, the Nomad is there. Nomad from New York, they have their version in
Vegas.
Las Vegas, and can't even begin to go into that that learning curve I had. But Vegas has everything as far as bartending. I think we have very, very talented group of bartenders.
Yeah, I mean, well,
That's
that's
why.
why I'm impressed because going back again from a third person's point of view, uh, Hawaii is pretty cool, right? Chill, relaxing, etc. While Vegas, actually, when I was there, just by walking around the lobby of the casino, it's stressful because it's fast paced. It's fun, but
Yeah,
it's stressful. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
the shift is pretty. How would you call it? Well, life changing maybe. So
It
kudos,
was culture
kudos.
shock for sure.
Yeah, coach.
It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
definitely culture
So,
shock,
but
but I survived.
how long did you adjust? How long did it take you to adjust to the Vegas culture? Even if, well, you mentioned you got roots there already prior. So, but again, I think
Um,
yeah, go
no,
ahead.
go ahead. Yeah, I mean, um, there's some things you can never adjust to. Vegas is that special place. Um, but as far as you know, switching up gears and being able to hang, I think it took me a few months to where it was like it's like anything, repetition, repetition. Like they say when what do you call baseball players? You keep swinging until you hit that home run, and I just kept going, and kept grinding. Luckily I did have the like how we mentioned the classic cocktail foundation to where I found some didn't. It's a weird give and take when you go into any other market. Some people know how to move fast. I've seen the fastest bartenders in the Cosmopolitan, but you throw a classic at them, and they won't know what it is. Just for an example, that was just a made up example, but made up kind of not made up, but yeah. Everywhere is a give and take. And like not and with Hawaii, Hawaii's very like how I mentioned, very laid back, this and that, but very serious cocktail makers. There's some really amazing bars and bartenders there. So I think just in general, the cocktail community, everyone realized that we got to kick up our game. Everybody wants to represent where they're from and shine, and the best way to do it is um, showcasing what you have. So
All right. Okay, so now let's move a little forward. Where were you March? What's going on with you March 2020?
where was I? I was starting my new job with Lyre's Spirit Company when everything
Oh, okay.
happened, and yeah, we it was great team. We were just about to launch Bartenders Weekend, and COVID hit and just changed everyone's lives like almost instantly.
Okay. Oh, okay. So February, how was the Vegas scene? I mean, okay, because here in the Philippines, that's why I'm very specific with the month because I wouldn't forget that March 15 was the time I finished one class here, and then suddenly this news already broke out that there's COVID. But
hmm
well, okay, so that means were you already transitioning to a brand sometime January, February?
So like around February, like
Mm,
ending of February to March. Yeah, that was like
but
definitely a
were
transition period for me.
were oh sorry, but was there already like news about this pandemic some in your area around February?
So, oh yeah, like back in February, there was talks all over. It was just one of those things where we're just waiting to see how big it was getting, but it was getting bigger and bigger. Even I even remember going into like the Park MGM and speaking with the crew there, and I was still in disbelief. They were like, "Yeah, it seems like we're gonna close next week," and I'm like, "No, this can't be." Like for a casino to close down, that's pretty major in Las Vegas. And when it actually did, that was when things got real, and it was scary. Nobody knew what to do. It was like I'm sure everyone had the same horrible experience. But
Okay.
yeah, it was definitely not
Yep.
cool.
So well, with this transition, so how did you? So you were still based in Vegas at that time. So okay, so how would I say this? So practically you migrated already from Hawaii. So all the family is in Vegas right now, basically. Is that right? So
Not all my family. I still my mother and father still live, and brother still live in
I
Hawaii.
mean your family, your
But
wife and kids.
yeah, my immediate family, we're already here. I've been in Las Vegas 6 years, and it seems like 60 years, but I love it. That's it. It's just
Ah,
one of those things. I mean, I feel like I've been here forever, and it definitely feels like home.
all right, all right. So how did you how scope okay, how scoping up? I mean, okay, if you don't mind telling us, how was 2020 for you basically? Because it's 21 now.
2020, it was understatement, challenging. You learn a lot about staying in the house for a couple of months, but you just learn to get you almost have to reinvent yourself. You push. I end up pushing myself harder. Um, at first, of course, I tried to drink all the whiskey in my house, but you can't do that. But then, give me 1 second. Somebody's at my door. I'm so sorry.
No worries. Okay, so guys, welcome to Thomas Sessions Live. So we are here with our guest, Team Rita Jr., who is a kababayan, but he was born and raised in Hawaii, and now he is based in Las Vegas. So tonight we shall be airing this in Facebook and Instagram. So do watch out for that. So any questions you have in mind, guys, so please shout it out or post it in our comment box, and we shall be asking it later. There.
Sorry about.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
I guess everybody knew I
Yeah.
was going to be talking with you, so they want to talk to me now. Too. But go. Who's
Yeah.
this? Like,
You were we were talking about your 2020.
yeah, a lot of shifting and adjusting. For me, it was just a matter of having faith that things will get better. Especially with the company I'm with, Lyres. I was lucky that they really looked after us and made sure that we would be, brought back to normal. I mean, we're not quite back to normal, but we're definitely, starting 2021 very strong. Um, we have like most of our teams back, and it's great. It's good to have not just having good people and family around you, but when you work for a company that sticks around and truly values you, it's a good feeling. So I'm looking forward to 2021 for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
The uh,
now,
the the only the, the only good things that I can point out about 2020 was I did a lot of great binge watching. I watched some cool shows. Ozark on Netflix. Oh my goodness.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Cobra
same
Kai.
here.
Cobra Kai.
Cobra
Oh
Kai
boy, brought me
season 2
back to
is
my
available already, right? Oh yeah, I
season
mean
three. I watched the whole thing in a
three,
day.
three, three. Yes, I finished it already just last week, I think. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
It was so good.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's go to your ambassadorship. So let's talk about Lyre. So because I was, if I can mention the brand, I think, can I?
Oh
The
yes, of
Yeah.
course.
All right. So because for us, it's really a new category, especially here in the Philippines. Well, as far as I've checked some bars, there's only around two bars that had have seed lip. So that's a
Hmm.
UK, if I'm not mistaken, it's a UK brand. It started from there, and then of course I was able to taste it when I went to Shanghai, and it's pretty interesting. I would say it's pretty interesting because by just hearing the word non-alcoholic spirit, it's wow, wow, wow. Because I, as a bartender, old school, I only know non-alcoholic cocktails, or a non-alcoholic
Hmm.
drink. But to say non-alcoholic spirit, now this is a new category, and then something new to my ears, as well as probably the others who are watching right now. So can you take us to what Liars is all about?
So the beauty of Liars is, like how you mentioned, I'm just like you. You hear non-alcoholic spirit, you're like, what? What is that? But what Liars brings is a beautiful, direct homage to every classic spirit that you will find in your bar. Like we have light, uh, we have three variations of cane spirits. So we have like our version of a light rum, a dark rum, and even a spice rum. We have sorry, this light is tripping me out. We have a gin, London Dry. Uh, my favorite is Italian orange. So basically, your Aperol, that sort of thing. But you know, from vermouths to a coffee liqueur. But the cool thing is, what you can do with Lyres is, I like to bring up the example of, I like a Negroni. I love a Boulevardier. I love a Manhattan. I can only have so much of those, these days. Maybe four, and I'm feeling really good. But what Lyres can do is, he can do, of course, you can cut out the alcohol 100% and do a non-alcoholic Negroni or a Boulevardier or a Manhattan or even a Martini. But if you don't want to take out all the alcohol, you can do a low version. So, low ABV cocktails have been trending as well, where basically you take a Negroni, you take out the gin, the actual alcoholic gin, you put in our gin, and you can either, it's basically plug and play, to where for a bartender, it's a seamless tool that they can use, rather than, somebody comes to the bar and wants a non-alcoholic drink. Lots of times you're kind of like, looking in your pantry, what kind of juice do I have? What kind of sodas? Your questions would be like, what color do you want that drink to be?
Yeah,
But we could actually do a, pink or brown. But you can actually do a non-alcoholic cocktail. What we notice is a lot of like the great bars, like the Nomad, they had a soft. They still have a soft cocktail program on their menu. Still working on that Lyres to get in there, but they have that, and like just seeing that it at that kind of establishment, even at the Cosmopolitan, they had, you look at all their lounges, there's two non-alcoholic cocktails on there, so it's definitely a standard in many ways. I always like looking at it. Another way to look at it is you go to a restaurant and you see the menu, and then you have your vegetarian option, your vegan option. So what Lyres brings is almost like your liquid version of that, which is, I feel like, is the coolest thing. A lot of people don't drink. Statistically, 25% of the people that go to a bar or restaurant, they're not gonna order liquor or alcohol. What this does is you can still highlight like a cool bar that does cocktails, but you can still do it with non-alcoholic drinks, and you can still kind of keep everyone together in spirit, have enjoying cocktails. So that's what Lyres brings.
okay, so
That I
yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just saying that's what I love about it. Versus um what other people are doing, which are cool in all their own ways. Ours, we just wanted to be, well, we wanted to make sense, be seamless, and be great. So that's a lie. That's a Lyres brings.
Okay, so does that mean, okay, pardon my ignorance, so it's 0% alcohol by volume,
Mm-hmm.
but it has
Zero.
that feel that there is alcohol in it.
So you get the aroma, the taste, even the nose. The only thing you're missing is the alcohol.
Okay,
You won't get drunk.
all right.
Won't get
Okay,
drunk.
no, because this is a perfect category. Simply, well, okay, if I will, now that my mind is going to Vegas when as we're talking, of course, those who um, go to Vegas, there's a percentage there that are baby boomers already. These are the people that during the disco era who are still alive and kicking right now and can't anymore take like a whiskey and
Mm-hmm.
rye, so but they miss that feeling of having that in their hand while doing
Yep.
the what do you call
Mm-hmm.
this, the slots or whatnot, right? So
Oh yeah.
it's
No, most
there.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so you
It
have
has a
life.
place for sure. Yeah.
And even
Funny you mentioned the
actually,
baby boomers. Yeah.
yeah, baby, well,
No,
because
no, funny, yeah, those are the ones. So what we do at Liars is we offer like a free mixology session, and what I've noticed, a lot of people that I get booked are baby boomers. And
yeah,
and it makes sense. To what you said, it just they can't drink as much as they want or drink at all, so that's
yeah,
their that's their jam.
yeah, they love it because I used to work on cruise ships, and as what you said, when when uh, when you do a mixology class, normally those people in attendance are the baby boomers. But then again,
Hmm.
I'm kind of hesitant to give them the normal recipe because uh, at one point you don't want them being a little bit under the influence already. So now that there's Myers, and I see when I check your portfolio, you have really a wide how do you call this array of
Ring.
products
Hmm.
to offer,
Oh
right?
yeah, we have a
So
wide range. 11 expressions, and then we also have a ready to drink on the way. So I'm pretty excited about that.
okay, so with that being said, okay, is this in Vegas? Is this a very popular available only in Vegas now or across the US already?
It's in the U.S. Totally available. I know you asked about Asia, so let me look at my notes. I had to go and do some research for you. No problem. So we are in Asia. Uh, we're looking at that. So we're live in Singapore, and we're at
Oh,
kind of different stages. We're really close with Hong Kong, Malaysia, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and Vietnam, and hopefully soon Philippines for you, my friend.
nice, nice. Okay.
But
Well,
you can
Vietnam is
certainly
just
go.
nearby.
Mhm. You can certainly go online. Lyres for the US is lyres.com. International, I believe, it's lyres.co, and you can order some and ship.
I would, yeah. Actually, after this interview, I'm gonna visit it again and see because, yeah, like I said, of course, it's still pretty much how do you call it? Here in the Philippines, just to give you an insight, well, we are on medium lockdown again because of well, apparently
Oh,
there's been a little bit of spike, but I think the general public is tired already of staying at home. So
okay.
you see some restaurants offering alcoholic drinks already because here there's a shift to help the business. You know, if you're a bar, you need to re-register as a food business so that you can be allowed to serve a cocktail, a bottle of wine, a bottle of beer, but the law changes from city to city. So sometimes there's a bit of surprise. Like for example, me, um, here in my city, which is Marikina, the shoe capital, it's okay to drink maybe a bucket, but you don't show the bucket on your table. They just give it to you one at a time. And Tim, you there? I think your camera is off. Hold on, guys. Huh? Tim,
Uh, I'm here. I'm just
hello.
I'm here. I'm moving locations. My neighbors all of a sudden, I think they wanted to get involved with the with the show.
Ah,
So sorry
okay,
about that.
okay.
Relocation.
All right, right. No worries, no worries. I thought I lost you. Okay, so yeah, here it's pretty much well, it's picking up, but then again, it's still unpredictable what's gonna happen in the next few months. But on a lighter note, I saw in the news there's one city who got vaccines already and about to launch it in the city. How about there? By the way, is there a vaccine already being distributed? To people?
There is. I believe they went to first responders first, but I believe other like you could get it now, but it's limited. So most people are waiting till there's a better time to get it. Plus, everyone's still kind of skeptic about it. But for me, I'm like, if it works, why not? But we'll
Why
see.
not? Yes, yes,
Hmm.
exactly. Mm. Okay, by the way, let's move one step back. I'm down to my last three questions because well, we weren't able to mention the competitions that you joined, no. But what are your top three competitions that you wouldn't forget if you have top three? But what are some that you wouldn't forget in your career?
Oh, totally. That's the first one I always bring up is Shake It Up, and it was in Las Vegas with the host of Southern Wine and Spirits. It was my first competition ever. So my first competition was this national one that I had no idea, where to start. I came out with a cool cocktail. I forget what the name was, but it was made with I did a kombucha, the pumpkin, the kombucha. Made it into a puree and just did like a riff on a margarita basically. But that contest was pretty intense. Everything bad could happen happened. Lost some ingredients, some key ingredients. It was a mess, but it was fun. It was the one that pretty much got me hooked on wanting to do competitions, or what do you call? Gave me the competition bug. Um, Second one would be Bombay Sapphire. There was I would try my hands in it every year. I finally got to represent Hawaii for it back in 2013 in Las Vegas, where I stayed at the Cosmopolitan, and I think that's where you know, but the other bug got me where the next year I ended up moving to Las Vegas
The
and
Vegas
working at the
bug.
Cosmo of all
Yeah.
places. Vegas bug, it's real, or island fever, or both. Yeah. Lastly would be Don the Beachcomber's Mai Tai, world's best Mai Tai competition in Hawaii. I could never crack fourth place. Finally moved to Las Vegas. Went back, entered the competition, and I took second. I didn't even expect to. I was actually shooting for third place. I was being a realist, but no, I had a great time. I took second, which was amazing because I got to compete with all my good friends that would always compete, and there was pretty big tiki guys like Kevin Berry from Three Dots in the Dash was third behind me. Not bragging, but a little bit bragging. But you know, it was that was a memorable one for me because I got to go back home. I even took my eldest son with me, and he actually got to see me in action, so to speak. He saw the madness that went behind my cocktail ventures or my cocktail competition ventures. So that was really cool for me. Those are the three of the
Okay.
many I've tried.
Nice, nice, nice. Well, um, actually, this leads me to my next question to you. Because you said a while in the start of our program that you follow the footsteps of Sir Senior, right? Now,
Hmm.
if you weren't a bartender, okay, let's go back in time.
Uh-huh.
If you weren't a bartender, what would what would you have been, or is there anything before that you wanted to be?
I gotta clean my garage. Don't pay attention.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
What would I be? Man, that's so. Before I was bartending, I actually worked for Louis Vuitton in Hawaii. It was a super cool company. I never thought I'd leave, but uh, times changed, and I had to actually get out of my comfort zone. But I don't know if that's a really good question. What would I be? I'm one
But
of
then,
those like I absorb things easily. Whatever sparks my attention. So
okay.
maybe I
So
would
you
have
were you were
my
in the marketing? Were you in did you fin what did were you in the marketing course, business course, hospitality? Did you take up hospitality?
no. I was one of those kids that right out of high school didn't quite really know what I wanted to do. Just did odd
Ah,
jobs here and there. But then I've always worked hard. It's in the blood to work hard. So I excelled everywhere that I worked. Um, Not just bartending, but hospitality. I learned that you get a lot of reward in the satisfaction of the people that you're serving. For me, I'm a natural pleaser. I don't know if it's probably a bad thing. Like I always got to be liked, but probably doing really bad at it. But I just love got to start a new career. But no, hospitality it just comes secondhand, especially being from Hawaii. Being Filipino, we have that instilled in us from our parents, and just to be hospitable, to be caring, and attention to the detail, just being a that perfect entity. So
All
Oh,
right.
that's a
Okay.
good question.
Okay. All right. So, but Louis Vuitton, because I also saw in the, well, you sent me a few pictures, right? And then one of which without the beard and without the tiki look, you fit the Louis Vuitton portfolio, huh? So okay, well, actually, that okay. Last, but second to the last
Screenshot.
question. Your stash and beard, is that already? Are you gonna carry that persona in the long run, uh, versus the clean
I
cut
think
Team Rita?
what's funny is I never started growing this out until like 2013. And then it just stuck. I've shaved it a bunch of times and it just never fit right. Like my kids were like, why did you do that? Like, what? It just, I guess this is me now. So I kind of,
Okay, all right. But because me,
it's
I am
how it
still,
goes.
yeah, no, it's, well, hats off to those who really got big beards and stash. Because there's a point that sometimes me, well, since I only grew, well, not that much, there's a point that if I look in the mirror, well, I need to shave at least half of it and just let this one grow a little bit more. But yeah, no, it fits really the tiki, and like there's like a, how do you call it? It's like a vibe when you see people with stash and beard, So I remember, I forgot his name, but he is the brand ambassador of Jim Beam in the US. So he really has this long beard
Yeah.
and stash. Yeah. So okay, my last question. So, because well, I've learned a lot. I'm sure our audience also, especially with the new product. That, well, I will, like I said, I will research it more after our session, and well, post a bit, if just to spread the word about liars, in Facebook also. Well, the last question is, do you have any words of advice, words of wisdom to our viewers? Because some of our viewers are actually aspiring bartenders, as well as bartenders who are here in the Philippines. So, yeah, especially with 2021 from Tim Rita Jr.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anything changed as far as the advice to give. For me, being being from the islands, either be Hawaii, Philippines, Samoa, wherever, it's a different kind of life. And we only know what it is, and with that comes a certain type of pride, and you feel like you. It's almost like it's our duty to share with the world what we have to offer, what makes us cool. um, I'm a big advocate of show who you are, show where you're from, show the flavors that, like, as simple as, like, we talked about this a little bit, simple as like calamansi, like for us calamansi. Nobody knew or even thought to make cocktails with it. One of my mentors actually, not from Hawaii, made a cocktail with it, and then I just took that and ran with it. I'm like, oh my god, this is fantastic. I mean, with the calamansi, like different stages of it gives you a different fruit, but just little things like that. I mean, it can even be like find your own style, find your own way, and then on that, it's with bartending. It's a really cool and interesting career because it's naturally, there comes like a, bad persona. It's like, oh, is that your second job? No, this day and age, it's a career, it's a craft, and you're an artist. So embrace it, embrace what learn as much as you can. I'm still constantly taking classes, reading books. I mean, not everybody can pay for like some expensive class, but you can find so many things online, books. Talk to a chef, make friends with a chef, because bartending basically is flavors, but just liquid. So another way to look at things. But I mean, and of course, presentation. The way you present yourself is how you want people to see you. So if you present yourself bad, that's all on you. It's like, it's one of those things I learned from competitions. Like in my head, I come up with a cocktail, and basically, yeah, it's a Collins variation, it's a margarita variation, but I'm not gonna say that. You romanticize it, you talk it up, you bring, you know, everything else you can bring with it, and then people, they appreciate it, and for the most part, they appreciate it. The ones that don't, you don't need them anyway. But it's like, just keep going, keep moving forward, be proud. That's my advice.
Okay. All right. So, by the way, I'm curious. Do you know any Filipino or Tagalog words?
A lot of bad words.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
the thing. No, I
Why am
mean,
I not
this is.
surprised?
I mean, It's funny because, like, I remember, like, my grandfather, or even work, like, certain like certain jobs I had, everyone spoke a certain language, and there was one point where I worked in a place where everybody, spoke Filipino, so I would understand more than I could speak, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I definitely, like, if I hear someone, speaking the native language, I can totally understand. Like, I get what they're talking about. I can understand. And it's one of those things, I think that's next on my list to do, is relearn the language,
Yeah. Yeah.
get,
Exactly.
back
It's
with the
already
roots.
there in your
I gotta get back.
bloodline. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll teach you three before we go. Three
Awesome. Yes.
words. Tagay,
Tagay,
hanggang,
hanggang,
mamatay.
mamatay.
Okay, so we'll repeat that again. Tagay,
Tagay,
hanggang,
hanggang,
mamatay.
mamatay.
Yeah, so in English, that means drink till we die. Yeah, yeah, man. So, but on a flip side,
I,
well, I'll live and die a bartender. Basically, that's it.
yeah.
Because yeah, it's what we do. It's what we love doing. So, tagay hanggang mamatay. And yeah, Toma is
Mm,
actually, I'm sure you know, Toma is drinking session. So, of course, we're not drinking now, but
nice.
in terms of Toma session, we can discuss anything about well, bartending or anything under the sun for that matter. So yeah. So with that, Tim,
Yeah.
it's been a
So with
pleasure.
that,
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. All the best with Liars, and of course Vegas. Well, I'll talk to you. We'll chat off air. Because well, Vegas is really an intriguing city. Shout out again. Oh, there's one person, by the way, that I keep on trying to remember her name. She would get well upset if she sees this, but I know Sanya Woodman. For sure, you know
oh,
Sanya. Yeah,
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 yeah. She's in
yeah.
Utah now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. She's doing for Alpine, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I know Sanya. We met accidentally during a tasting session in New York. So from there,
Very nice.
yeah, we've been in touch. So and I well apart well she's into media there in Vegas, right? So I
Hmm.
mean, people are really tight there in the Vegas culture. So that's what
Yeah.
makes it more interesting and exciting to see and witness once we're all back to normal. Okay, so with that. Good night to you, my friend. Maraming salamat. As what we say here, and all the best. See you.
Mahalo for having me on.
Mahalo, mahalo. Okay, so again, guys, no, on behalf of team, I want to give a shout out to Lyres also for letting us know about the product, and what's it all about in a nutshell. So please check out liars.co, for more info about the non-alcoholic spirit brand. Okay, so bye bye. All right, guys. So with that, it's a pretty interesting first Toma sessions for 2021, and do watch out for our next our next episode. So we promise for this 2021 will be really be back for more. Of course, given the time difference again, so we do hope you bear with us. Of course, some of our bartender friends are already back to back to running and hustling and working. So that's why it's really a challenge to make our schedules work. But with that, I'm very happy. We learned a new thing again, which is the non-alcoholic spirit category. And so with that, guys, always remember: be inspired, be informed, and be involved. See you on our next episode. Toma and out.